What's going on, guys? This is Free Range with Von Miller, the podcast that can't be contained. On today's episode, we'll, of course, talk about Super Bowl 60. We'll give our predictions. I give you my Super Bowl MVP, and we'll talk about everything leading up to Super Bowl 60. I give you my insights on the matchups, the predictions on who I think will win, who I think will lose. We'll also take a trip down memory lane from my time in Super Bowl 50, 10 years ago, with the Denver Broncos, and I talk about what it's like leading up to the big game. We'll also wrap it up with the free range segment of the podcast. It'll be a mixed bag today. We'll talk about boxing, the Waste Management Open, and I'll answer questions about which sport is the hardest to win a championship in. This is Free Range episode 13. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? This is a big week, Super Bowl week. For me, I'll be out in Santa Clara Wednesday through Friday. I stopped spending, all of my time there. And for Super Bowl weeks a long time ago, like if I'm not playing in it, I want to be there as short as possible. But Wednesday, I spend some time on Radio Row. I have some appearances and some obligations, around Santa Clara that'll be special. Santa Clara is a special place for me. One of my brothers, he played for the San Francisco 49ers, spent a lot of time there, Santana Row, and, all of those spaces. I know about it. I won my first Super Bowl there. I have that tattoo on my leg, Super Bowl MVP. Santa Clara Bay Area is a special place for me. So I am looking forward to going back there and spending some time there. And all the interesting people that the Super Bowl brings out. I'm looking forward to rubbing shoulders and just spending time there. This is Super Bowl week. Super Bowl week is all about food. This is a special week for food, especially for me, Greener Pastures Chicken. We are doing a big game bundle on greenerpastureschicken.com. We deliver anywhere in the U.S. You can go to greenerpastures.com and you can order the wings, and they will be at your doorstep in time for the big game. Greener Pastures Chicken, pasture-raised, non-GMO, certified organic. The certification that I'm really proud of is the humanely raised tag. So many people want to know how their chicken was raised. And ours, we live a country club lifestyle. They just have one bad day. But for you, it's a good day. Greener Pastures Chicken, clean protein. Athletes. This company is led by athletes. It's supported by athletes. Me, Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, Nick Foles, a huge list of athletes have backed this company. Athletes, they're in supplements and pre-workout. There aren't athletes really backing clean protein except us at Greener Pastures Chicken. So y'all can check it out at greenerpastureschicken.com. This week, we have a big game bundle. Not giving away, but we have a sale on the wings. And it's crazy because at Greener Pastures Chicken, we have a surplus of wings. You would think that with wings, that'd be the most popular item, but it's actually not. For us, the most popular item is whole birds, and then chicken thighs, and then chicken breasts, and we have a surplus of chicken wings. And they taste a little bit better too. I mean, I might be biased because it's my chicken company, but I honestly feel like they taste totally different than anything else than you've ever tasted. Well, you can go check that out at greenerpastureschicken.com, and whatever dish that you guys make with the chicken, make sure y'all send it into Miller's Mailbag. I would love to see it. As far as cooking, this was my first week actually sitting down and cooking for the fam. I know it seems sad, but for me, I've always had a chef. I've never really had time. But whenever this special came out, I went to Central Market. We're in all the Central Markets in the state of Texas. So if you are in Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, major cities in Texas, you can just go to the grocery store and you can just pick up Greener Pastures Chicken right now if you want to. But around the United States, you can order it and they have priority shipping and they get it to you within a few days. But for me, so we had a sale on my chicken. I went into the store. First thing I did when I walked in the store, people was looking at me like, why is this guy here? Why am I? They was looking at me like I am not supposed to be here. I had my green pastures hat on. The dish that I was going to make was baked wings, creamy mashed potatoes, and broccoli. So I had to walk through the produce aisle, and it just felt so foreign. I had to go get the bag and like get the broccoli off the ice and put it in the plastic bag and then like weigh it. I was like, bro, I haven't done this since I was like a little kid. But it felt good to be able to provide for like my family. Like I cooked that dish for my family. Everybody loved it. Everybody ate it. So I felt like big dog of the family. But it was totally different. I went to the chicken section, the poultry section, and I saw greener pastures. There was a whole section of greener pastures chicken, and I bought all the wings. So maybe if you're in Dallas and you live by the Central Market off of Midway, there probably aren't no wings over there. But all the other Central Markets in Dallas and the state of Texas, you should have plenty of wings. But that was for me. I cooked that. I've been cooking. And if you know me, like whenever I like pick up a new hobby, like I'm all the way in. It was like that with cologne. It was like that with hunting. It was like that with fishing. It was like that. It's still like that with football. Anything that I like, anything that kind of like piques my interest, like I'm all the way in, like every day. And I've been looking up YouTube videos and recipes on how to like cook chicken, steak, marinate. Like I'm all the way in, like getting a big green egg, smoking. One of my favorite dishes is smoked oxtails. How do you do that? How do I do that? Like for my family. So I'm all the way in when it comes to like this cooking stuff. And I am excited to see what I can produce. I'm gonna make sure that I can show you guys pictures, and whatever you create with your chicken wings, make sure you show us, and we'll show it right here on this podcast next week, right after the big game. We have a new host. He may be host to the free range atmosphere, but when it comes to us and our guys, it's not really that new. We got TJ Banks, the DJ. He's actually a DJ for some of the most successful musicians in the world. And he's also a DJ for some of the most successful teams in the world. Well, not like this last year because we went 5-2. But he was the Buffalo Bills for 2 years. And he was a DJ for the Washington Commanders. And he does a great job. And for him to be our DJ, we talk music sometimes, but 90% of the time we talk sports. And it's an honor and a privilege to have him on the show. TJ, man, how about you tell him about yourself?
Yo, what's up, Free Range Podcast listeners? I'm excited to be here. Vaughn having me on a podcast with Vaughn, my boy Theo. I'm really excited about this, to be able to talk football with you, on a week-to-week basis. I've been DJing for 20 years. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I've been in Los Angeles for about 10 years. But me and Vaughn met we actually met in Europe. We didn't even meet like in the States. We met in Europe. And we've just been kicking it since then. So really excited to be a part of the podcast. So thank you for having me.
Man, thank you guys, man. This is a triad or a trio, my bad, not triad, but trio of, my life. I spent a lot of time with TJ, spent a lot of time with Theo. Yeah. And I just want to give you guys the most intimate look at sports and everything outside of that I possibly can. So wanted to get my guys that I spend the most time with, that I talk the most sports or whatever it may be. And we just want to create the most natural environment that we can for y'all. Yeah. So here we are, Free Range Podcast. Theo, my cameraman, TJ, the DJ, Free Range Podcast. Here we are.
Let's do it.
This week around the league, man, obviously, and I hate using the word obviously because it kind of comes off as disrespectful, like you supposed to know what's going on. Hey, you supposed to know what's going on this week. This is Super Bowl 60. Seahawks versus the Patriots. The Seahawks have had an amazing year. They scored 41 points against the 49ers, 31 points against the Rams. That was just in the playoffs. Leading up to that point, they just been steamrolling guys. And I know I said multiple times, multiple times that I had opportunity to be on the Seattle Seahawks. As a matter of fact, this past week, I was riding in the car with I was with my son, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, man, like, this could be my fourth Super Bowl. And I called my dad, right? I called my dad. I said, Dad, like, I'm supposed to be in the Super Bowl right now. And he said, son, no, you're not. You made the decision to go to the Washington Commanders. And that's a decision that you can go stick by. If y'all know my daddy, like, he's one of the most he was giving me some of the most life-changing advice that I ever had. He said, son, in life, you just got to make decisions. Sometimes you make good ones. Sometimes you make bad ones. There's no way that you could have known what was going on. You made the best decision that you could at the time. And I certainly did. And going back to it, and I said this several times on the show as well, going back to it, at that moment in time, I would make the same decision again. I would make the same decision to go to the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels, Scary Terry, Daron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, a whole list of Dan Quinn. And I had met with the Seattle Seahawks. Coach McDonald, you know, he's only 2 years older than me. Oh, he's only about 2 years old. He's only about 2 years older than me. We got Coach Frazier, one of the most respected coaches in the NFL. He was the first guy to call me to get me off of the couch, man. And they had Sam Darnold. They got Jackson Smith-Njigba. And I believed in all of those guys 100%. But Sam Darnold or Jaden Daniels, I went this way and we won 5 games and they're in the Super Bowl. So that's just how it go. When you make decisions like that in life, I know TJ, when you make a decision like that, you just got to run with it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Making a decision like that, man, you never know until you know, right? Like until it's the Super Bowl time. Like you went with the talent. You got Deebo Samuel, Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louisville. It was so many guys on paper for the Commanders that made the decision, I would say, a little bit easier.
They did make it a little bit easier, man. And Theo was telling me, like, because me and Theo, we got a special relationship too, special connections with the Seattle Seahawks as well. Yeah. Jackson Smith-Njigba. I've been knowing him since he was in college. Like he came on my show. He came on my other podcast, and I was able to talk to him before he even came out to college. Been following his career. He's from Dallas. Yep. Theo also works with Jackson as well. I saw him when I had my visit there, and he was like, hey, man, come on, man. Like, does he – I know he probably don't bring it up. Probably don't matter to him. They getting ready to play in the Super Bowl. But has he – what is his perspective on that decision, Theo?
He kind of just says, I told him. He don't really get too deep into it, but he just be like, man, I told him, man, that boy's supposed to be here. Da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? So even after that, he kind of was excited, like, boy, what he going to do? I'm like, shit, I don't know. So, I mean – I don't know, bro. You couldn't predict it to go like this. Man. But he did say, no, I know every guy wants to, but he was like, bro, we're going to be good, bro. He was stressing that. He like, we're going to be good. And everybody do the Sam Darnold thing, like, Sam Darnold, da-da-da. He like, bro, I'm telling you. And they, I don't know. They spoken into existence, bro. And now they're in the Super Bowl, 4 quarters away from, being right, totally right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I also saw that the team is going to go up for sale after. Seahawks. That's kind of different. The Seahawks, they're going up for sale right after the Super Bowl, and I'll be interested to see how much they sell for, because these NFL teams these days not cheap, especially after a Super Bowl win. Like, your team is at the highest of high, and you're gonna put it on the market. They might get. Yeah, this might be
genius a little bit. Like, this might be the highest it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Right now. So,
yeah, I mean, it's definitely genius. But back to this special week, man. Super Bowl 60, special place for me. I had a crazy week when I went there. When I was with the Denver Broncos, Peyton Manning, DeMarcus Ware, Coach Kubiak, Wade Phillips. It was an amazing week. We practiced at Stanford. I'm going to Stanford. They have like these little trackers that they put on you to like keep up with, your speeds and, the stuff that you do at practice. That week of practice was my most intense week of practice that I had the whole entire season. And my strength and conditioning coach, after that season, he always stressed that. He's like, man, when you have your best games, you practice the hardest. And I think for me, it was just like, it's over with. Like, the season's over with. Like, I'm just gonna go out here. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna run as hard as I can. I'm gonna practice as hard as I can. Like, I'm gonna try to be the best version that I possibly can be. I wasn't thinking about like, if I practice hard, I'm gonna play hard. But that's just what that's just what unfolded. Like, all of my numbers from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they were all at the highest that they possibly could be. And I think I had hit like 20 miles per hour. I know you're probably talking about like, Von, he can't even run 20 miles. In 2016, yes, I had a couple 20 mile per hour marks at that practice. This is a couple of days before the Super Bowl. So I was feeling good out there, man. Went into the game, and I just blacked out. Like, it was one of the games in my life, one of two games in my life where going into that game that I just didn't feel any nerves. I was totally sure of myself, and I was just going out there and playing. The other game that I felt like that was my second Super Bowl. I don't know what it is about the Super Bowls and Vaughn, but whenever I get out there, I just feel so comfortable. I feel ready to go. That's enough about Vaughn. I can only reminisce. If it's so many parallels though. You got Super Bowl 60. I played in Super Bowl 50. Same spot, same stadium. Different teams, of course. These teams are really, really good. The Patriots, I feel like people are overlooking the Patriots. In my experience with the Super Bowl, it does not matter what happened leading up to this game. It does not happen how many points you score. They say the Seahawks, they finished 7th in average offense per game, 351 yards. The Patriots finished 3rd in average offense per game, 295 yards. The Seahawks finished 6th in opponent yards allowed with 285 yards, and the Patriots finished 8th in opponent's yards allowed per game at 295 yards per game. So these teams have been playing great all season long. Drake May, year 2. Mike Vrabel, year 1. Coach McDonald, year 1. Sam Darnold, year 1. This is the blueprint for these teams to be able to get here is definitely is definitely out of the ordinary. I hate to, I don't want to bring up Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's been there. We've been prepping for a Super Bowl for the last 4 or 5 years, and Drake May just easily just walk in there in the same division as Josh Allen and just go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of noise about the Patriots' easiest schedule. I looked up some of the other people that they say have a easy schedule to the Super Bowl as winners. The 99 St. Louis Rams, which we know was the greatest show on turf. The 91 Buffalo Bills. The 72, which is the only undefeated Super Bowl winner, 72 Dolphins. And that 99 Rams team had the easiest combined regular season and postseason schedule path. That is why they're considered the easiest. And the one that knocks them off is this 2025 New England Patriots team. Vaughn, you just stated that no game before this game really makes a difference. Yeah. I wanted to ask, going into that first game, obviously going against the Panthers, what was the first week like? You said the second week you had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you running 20 miles per hour. Yeah. That first week you practice in a new facility. You said you practice at Stanford. Yeah. Is film separated? Are you breaking film down more? What's the first week like of practice? Because you have 2 weeks before a game. Yeah. So what's that first week like before we get into this week?
So I'll take us back. I take us back to the AFC Championship, right? We played Tom Brady. I'm not going to say I knew he was going to win that game, or I'm not going to say that I thought we was going to lose that game. I just was going to play the game. I didn't know what was going to happen. We black out and we win the game. I probably played one of the best games of my career, and we win by 2 points. After that game, we probably had the biggest party that I ever had in Denver. We probably had like 400 people in the basement till about 6 o'clock in the morning. We partied our ass off. Like, had so many celebrities there. Jimmy Butler, T.I. And I don't want to be one of those guys that like get on podcasts and just start like saying stuff to go viral. But hey, after that game, that was the biggest party that we've ever had at my house in Denver. So didn't go to sleep. We had to go to work the next day. Thank God that they pushed it back. We didn't have to be there until 1. They have to work out of nothing. We had to be to the facility until 1. we go there. It's 1:00. It was just like this aura, like, bro, we going to the Super Bowl. Like, this is everything that we planned on. We had a team meeting, and they just go over the logistics of what it's going to be like. Hey, we're going to go to Stanford. We're going to practice at Stanford next week. The very first week, you get 2 weeks. The very first week, we just stayed at home. We had a normal week of practice, and we did all of our work. We did all of our preparation there in Denver. So we broke the team down. We broke the Panthers down. Everything that they did well, everything that they didn't do so well. I personally feel like that's where the confidence was started. We played dominoes a lot in the locker room, and you had like these little tables that we had that held like 4, maybe, and then you could probably put 6 people at those tables. We used to always play dominoes at these tables, and I would never forget sitting at this table. It was me. My partner was always Aqib Talib, and then we had Chris Harris, and then we had Emmanuel Sanders. So we playing dominoes. And Aqib Talib, so much confidence, so much swag. He said, hey, man, we about to beat the Panthers. Like, this is like on that Tuesday. Like, we in there playing dominoes. He's like, man, we about to beat the Panthers. He's like, man, I'm looking at their receivers. Like, fam, y'all just rush. They ain't getting nothing on us. We locking them down. Like, it was just like, so like, it wasn't him like speaking out of his mind. He was like, I watched him, I seen him. Like, we done play better receivers than these guys this year. I don't care what they record look like. We about to beat them. He's like, you know what? We're going to beat them so bad, I'm going to be the Super Bowl MVP. That's what Aqib Talib said. Aqib Talib said, I'm going to be the Super Bowl MVP. I'm about to get 2 pick six, and I'm going to take them back to the house, and I'm going to win the Super Bowl MVP. Then Chris said, no, how you going to get Super Bowl MVP? You see, I changed my voice. He said, how you going to get Super Bowl MVP? I'm going to get Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to do the same thing. I've been strapping. I'm going against Godry. I'm going to strap him up. I've been doing this all season. And then Emmanuel Sanders said, man, y'all know no defensive player is going to get Super Bowl MVP. He's like, man, I'm about to go out here, get 3-4 touchdowns. I'm about to dance in the end zone. I'm about to go for 300 yards. And now you see I changed my voice to that too, because Emmanuel Sanders is like cool, laid back voice. He's like, man, I'm about to get the Super Bowl MVP. And then I was like, man, let me just join up in this. Like, I'm like, man, y'all come on, man. Y'all know I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to get the Super Bowl MVP. That was, we just at the table, just talking. And it's crazy how you can speak things into existence. And I had said that. And that was after I had said that, it was off of my mind. We practiced. We have a great week. We watch film. We stayed late. We got there early. We did all our rehab. And then back then with the Denver Broncos, you couldn't just wear anything. You had to wear a suit. So my suit lady at LV, she was at LV, Chandra, had got me this teal suit. And back then people was wearing red bottoms. Now if you wear red bottoms, it's kind of lame a little bit if you wear. You kind of lame a little bit if you wear red bottoms. But back then it was like the thing. So I had a suit with the red bottoms. We land in Santa Clara. We walk down. You know how they always have that when the teams first get there, they video record them coming down the stairs, getting off the plane. I remember all the cameras being there. We go to the hotel. We had a meeting, and right after that, we didn't have curfew the first night. Man, my brother TJ, Tony Gerard Eddy, coach at Texas A&M right now. Man, we had the red bottom. I had the red bottoms on with the teal suit. We getting off the plane. We go down the stairs. We hop on the bus, and I'm recording everything on my phone, man. We get to the hotel. We stayed at the Marriott. I think that was the same hotel that the 49ers stayed at. Whenever they play games, we stayed at the Marriott. And I remember we got to our rooms. Everybody had balconies. So we came out on the balconies, and it seemed like everybody was thinking the same thing. We was all just looking around. Aqib Talib was right above me, and he looked down. He said, fam, you got a balcony? He said, man, I'm coming down there. We looked over to the right. It was Lorente McCray. Then we had Shane Ray. And we just on the balcony, just hollering at each other like, hey, man, what y'all doing, man? What y'all doing? Had a team meeting. Team meeting that gave us the lay of the land, what the schedules look like. First night there, though, we didn't have no curfew. My brother Tony Gerard came and picked me up, man. We had a ball. And we had a ball. I don't even know where he took me, man. But he introduced me to the Bay Area. I had so much fun. Still one of the livest nights of my NFL career. We had so much fun. Then after that, Tuesday came. It's a normal week now. Tuesday came. We're doing rehab, watching film. Wednesday's first practice. I think we were in pads too. Wednesday, first practice at Stanford. We go there. I'm practicing hard, just like I said earlier. I'm practicing hard. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be here. This is the last Wednesday practice of the week for the Super Bowl. Like, how many, like, just by saying that, like, if you don't get up for that, like, this is not the last practice of the season and we're not going to the playoffs. This is the last practice of the season and we playing in the Super Bowl. So everybody was excited. Everybody was flying around. Everybody was running fast. Everybody was talking crazy. Because you got to keep the lead on your team. Like, you're going to have like times where people going to be chirping and going back and forth and talking. Right? We had that. Like, it was competitive. I even think Peyton Manning was in there talking trash too. Like, everybody was excited to be there. Like, everybody was excited to be there. Everybody was running fast, feeling good. Thursday came. You know, you take the pads off. You know, this is now we same practice as Wednesday. No pads, still fast, still physical. Got in the weight room. Back then, they had like the cryotherapy chamber was like huge. Like, remember, like you get in there and you like they had the cryotherapy smoke to like cool you down. Nobody really had it back then, but we had like this little recovery spot that we were going to, and we went there after practice. Friday came, Fast Friday. Then on Saturday, all the families met up and we went to the stadium. And I remember going there with my family and I just felt like this peace, like walking through the locker room and like seeing my name with that Super Bowl 50 tag. And it was Super Bowl 50. It was the golden Super Bowl. So everything was like trimmed and like gold. They gave us gold cleats, but they say, hey, you cannot wear these gold cleats in the game. If you wear them in the game, you'll get fined. So you can wear them in the pregame, but you cannot wear them in the game. So was walking around with these gold cleats. Everybody was just taking pictures. Like it's dope because I get a lot of memories from that day with DT. It was me, DT, and DeMarcus where I get a lot of memories all the time that pop up on my iPhone. It was definitely a special moment in my life. My 36 years on this earth, it was a super special moment. Next day, wake up, didn't feel any nerves. Was able to get a nap. I saw my mom before. I always feel good whenever I'm able to see my mom and see my family before the game too. You know, some games you can do it, some games you can't. On that day, it was a later game. Was able to spend time and see my family. Rode on the bus. And the crazy thing is, I remember the song that I was like listening to, that Anti album with Rihanna had just dropped. Mm-hmm. Future had just dropped the Evol album too, the day before. And, you know, I was listening to all the songs on there. And I'm going back to that Saturday. So that Saturday, he dropped the Evol album. Mm-hmm. And I'm listening to every word on there because I'm a huge Future fan. And we get the program, the song Program. And he started it off and he said, we about to win so big. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, hold on. Is he saying the Panthers going to win? Like, you know how you can... How my brain work is just like little stuff like that just make me see like red. Because Future was kicking it with Cam Newton that whole season. Like, you remember, like they was all like the big hats and like vibing. Future was going to the game, and I'm like, dang, like Future, he already saying that the Panthers gonna win the game. So they kind of already had me like, I gotta. He said the money's so big. His money, we need hydraulic money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, hold on, they saying they're gonna win the Super Bowl already. Mm-hmm. So that had already had me like ready to go in the game. The next day, that the Anti album had came out, the Rihanna album, and I remember riding on the bus, like out of all the songs that you can listen to, I'm listening to work. In my head. Sometimes people wonder like what these athletes listen to on they headphones. I was listening to Rihanna like work. Get in the locker room, normal day, getting the IV. This was the weirdest thing about the IV was, man, he missed me like 5 times. And on the 6th time, he finally got the needle in. Go in the game, and I spoke about what happened in that game. People already know what happened in that game and what happened after that game. Mm-hmm. But it was just a special moment in time that you know, this being Super Bowl 60, it kind of reminds me of that. And I'm sure these guys on the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, they're gonna have these same type of memories. Yeah. I'm connected with these guys. They playing in the Super Bowl. It's not my Super Bowl, but I understand what they're able to experience.
Real quick, Vaughn, I wanted to speak about that NFC Championship game. I was with Future in North Carolina in Charlotte for that NFC Championship game. We was on the field. It was Future. It was Jeezy.
Yeah.
We was there for Cam Newton. The game was a blowout. They beat the Cardinals. It was 49-15. It was bad. It was and I think Future was on that. He had that momentum with Cam Newton. So it's we didn't know each other then. So knowing your perspective on the other side, on his side, it was like, man, this is big for Atlanta. Yeah. We got an Atlanta guy that's that's the MVP of the league, that's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So hearing your perspective on that side. Last thing before you get off the Super Bowl week, because you already spoke about your family and how you deal with your family. Your mom has never missed a game, pretty much. Your dad maybe missed 2 games your whole life. I wanted to ask you, what would be the advice for those DNs or those guys on the front 7 as they go through this week? You know, this is Tuesday as they'll be watching this, going into that Sunday 4 days before their first Super Bowl, or for some of these guys, their second Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What's your advice to those guys going into the week? Some of the younger guys that don't know what to expect. They got, media stuff, so much media coverage. They never seen as many cameras and microphones. What is Von Miller's take on his first Super Bowl, or what Von would say if he was going into this Super Bowl that you would give some advice to these guys?
Well, when you look at these teams, Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots, they're led by the defense. You got Drake May, Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigma, of course. But the 2 strong points of these teams are the defense. It's the secondary, the linebackers, the defensive line for the Patriots is, DeMarcus Lawrence, Ernest Jones, Byron Murphy. He went to DeSoto, by the way. We from the same old town. It's the cornerbacks. It's Kobe Bryant. It's Juwan Reed. It's Leonard Williams. The defenses on both of these teams, these are the strong points of these teams. And I think they know that. They know that. So they just got to stay true to what they've been doing. But they put in all the work last week, for sure. They put in all the work. I hate to make assumptions, but I just know. Knowing a little bit about both teams, they done already put the work in. Both sides, just chill, man. Let back, practice hard, stay on top of your stuff, but 100% take it all in. You know how hard it is to go to the Super Bowl. You know how hard it is to go to the Super Bowl and win one. Some of the highest moments, some of the best moments of your life come from media day. All the things that led up to the Super Bowl. It can only be one winner. I remember Keith Talib. He met with Jim Brown from CBS. And Jim Brown was interviewing him. He had took the mic from Jim Brown. And he was like, man, I'm gonna interview you. And he started interviewing Jim Brown in that environment. And then after he sat down and he was like, hey, I think I can do this after I get done playing football. This is what I want to do. After that's where it came from, that special moment. And then you fast forward now, you look at Aqib Talib, that's what he doing. He feel comfortable in front of the camera. He feel comfortable in front of the mic. So let your hair down and take advantage of the opportunities that are presented at this moment in time. And I would say whether both teams should do that. And if you look at the path that these teams were able to get here, the Patriots might have had the easiest path to the Super Bowl in NFL history. Week 1, the coach they played against was fired. Week 2, the coach they played against was fired. Week 3, coach they played against retired. The week 4, they played somebody in the NFC South. Week 5, the coach they played against, he was fired. Week 6, they played somebody in the NFC South. Week 7, that coach is fired. Week 8, that coach is fired. Week 9, that coach is fired. Week 10, played somebody in the NFC South. Week 11, they played the Jets. Week 12, they played the Bengals. Week 13, the coach they played against was fired. 14, bye. 15, that coach is fired too. Week 16, that coach is fired. Week 17, they played the Jets. Week 18, that coach was fired as well. In the wild card, they played Justin Herbert. In the divisional round, they played C.J. Stroud. He had 5 turnovers. And in the conference game, they played against a backup in Jarrett Stidham.
Eesh.
With all that being said, what do y'all think about that?
You got to be who in front of you. But oh no, it do sound crazy though. I don't know. So what you think? I don't know, man. They played the top defenses too, though. Broncos defense was crazy. Houston defense was crazy. Chargers defense was, pretty good too. They pulled it off. I know the NFL is tough. You do still gotta go out there and win because everybody getting paid. But playing a backup quarterback to go to the Super Bowl is kind of, and they got a gift of a touchdown when he kind of do the little push thing or whatever the hell that was. That was so dumb. And then they had the chance to be down 10. And I don't know, bro. They was on the good side of it. It takes luck to win the championship too, though. We know that. So.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway would be on the quarterback position, which I think is the hardest position to have. For Drake May, what would be the play that you would have? You haven't had a Drake May game all playoffs.
Nah.
So what's the what is
his play one? The little bootleg, I guess.
But what's your confidence or your confidence going into this game, which is going to be the biggest game of your life, right? It's your first Super Bowl. So I'm more so if having that easier schedule, like you said, Theo, you can only beat the person in front of you.
Yeah.
But that confidence, this is the number one defense. I'm going against Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold just went for over 350 last week. Last game. Like, I'm going against Sam Darnold. I'm going against that Seattle defense. Like, I have to put up those points. And we seen he won a game putting up 10 points. Like, offense only getting one touchdown.
You're gonna have to score, baby.
Yeah, so I'm more so thinking about we know Sam Darnold played in the gauntlet. He beat, they played the Rams 3 times, beat them twice, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people said that the Rams were like the best team in the league, and it was hot. So I really want to see what happens with Drake May. I know Mike Vrabel is probably going to calm him down. He has so much Super Bowl experience, right? Like he played in so many big games, played with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. I really want to see what's going on with Drake May when it comes to that Patriot schedule and how this game he's going to come out. Is he going to come out swinging or are they going to run the ball, first, second, throw it on third if it's, 3rd and 7? But I'm interested in seeing that.
Yeah, so that's the matchup. I mean, what matchup do you want to see, you think? I want to see the Gonzalez JSN. I know JSN my guy, though. I want to see you going to follow him. I want to, what they're going to do because they got Carlton Davis, too. He's a good guy. So, I don't know. But I want to see Gonzalez. I want to see him get his money worth. I want to see if he really like that, follow the guy. Guys don't really follow like that no more, though. Scheme it up. I want to see it. I'm happy. I'm excited. Sure.
Yeah, we'll do our Super Bowl picks at the end of the show. But
okay, all right,
when we do our previews like that, I think you said we haven't seen a Drake May game. I think Drake May is going to do whatever it takes to win this game. I think in the previous games that we watched leading up to this, he did whatever it took to win the game. Like in the Denver Broncos game, he didn't have to. He was just trying to win the game. And the week before, just trying to win the game. And I think that is a scary mindset to have, especially in big games like this. You're not going to overstretch. You're not going to overextend yourself. You're going to take whatever it is that is given. With that being said, the Seattle Seahawks, they're not going to give that much. 2 very well-coached teams. If you look at the defense for the New England Patriots, stellar defense. You look at the defense for the Seattle Seahawks, stellar. They're excellent. They have excellent coaches, very well coached on both sides. Like we said before, everything that has happened before leading up into this game has nothing to do with this game. But with that being said, though, before we move on off of it, I do got the Seattle Seahawks winning this game. I can't really wrap my mind around like how they do it. I'm sure JSN is going to have a crazy day. But my pick for Super Bowl MVP is not Sam Darnold, and it is not JSN. My Super Bowl pick for this week is DeMarcus Lawrence with a crazy day on defense. He's going to be the first defensive player to win Super Bowl MVP since yours truly. And that's my crazy pick for the Super Bowl. I don't know how they do it, but I got the Seattle Seahawks winning it. Crazy day on defense. DeMarcus Lawrence only had 6 sacks during the season, but if you really watch the way he played the game, like the type of motor that he have, like stripping at the ball, I see him going all the way out, causing fumbles. He's scoring touchdowns during the season. I see him doing something crazy. And I think he, gets the Super Bowl MVP. I think he's going to be the first Super Bowl MVP for yours truly. And as we move on, in the NFL, Vikings GM Kwesi was fired by the Vikings. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah took roughly 2 weeks of paternity leave in 2023 following the birth of his first son. Many in the league were in disbelief at what he did. For me, it's kind of like, how you in disbelief? You taking time off to help out with the fam? You just had a son, like.
And they said, nah. You got a job to do.
2 weeks is too long, huh?
They said 2 weeks
You the
too long.
GM. You the GM.
Well, I ain't seen you, what?
I remember when I had my first son, I told Coach Fangio that I was gonna go to the hospital, have my son. The next day, I stayed at the hospital. I didn't go to work. Then I called him that after the first night. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna go to work tomorrow either, though. I'm gonna stay. He said, what? Hey, paternity leave? Like, I'm telling you, like, he was like, whoa, hey, this is in the middle of training camp. Val was born August 16th, 2021. He's like, hey, Von, like, I'm gonna give you this next day, but hey, we got a job to do. You need to come back to work. Like, paternity leave, you play football. There's nothing. What you gonna do? There's nothing you at the hospital doing. Like, man, you need to come back to work, bro. Like, so I can already see like how the culture is in the NFL. Like, hey, you need to get your ass back to work. What you doing? You trying to help out, be a stand-up dad? You get your ass fired for that in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You get fired for that in the NFL, man.
Yeah, I seen that Joe Brady missed the birth of his daughter because it was prep for a week of a game he had that same week. Damn, and Vaughn, you played in Super Bowl 56 where Van Jefferson had a kid right after the game, right? Yeah. Like Van, was getting ready to have one. So sacrifices in the league of players, having to miss birth, like it says more about the league than that does Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. But it's the job you take. Like, it's the job you take. You understand, like, this is the risk. You're gonna miss out.
I would say if it's one thing though that will cause me to miss the birth of my son, it will have to be a football game. I will say that. Like, it had to be like the Super Bowl or something like that. Like, I don't put nothing above my son, but if it was something that I would miss, it would be in that realm. Like, I'm playing in the Super Bowl. I love you, son. Like, I love you.
He understand.
He understand.
I'm playing in the Super Bowl, man. I'm playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he'll understand.
And then when we move around the league, we got the Auburn offensive tackle, Jeremiah Wright, said Von Miller, when asked who's the best player in the NFL right now at the Senior Bowl. And I think one of his homies said, right now? Hey, man, it's just so dope, man. Like, just to have like that type of fan base and just to have like people that genuinely like mess with you, like, man, that's love, man. Am I the best player in the league? I'm, probably not the best. I'm close to being the second best player in the league, but first best player in the league. I don't know, man. Like, but it's definitely like love, man. To have like that type of fan base and to have that type of support from guys that's 16, 17 years younger than me, man. Like, it definitely makes me feel good. It's kind of like, man, who the best rapper ever? And somebody say Kodak Black. It's like, bro, it's just so much like love and like the fanfare, man. Like, man, we definitely got to do something for my guy too. Definitely got to send something to Jeremiah Wright for that, man. You know how we do, man. It's all love and respect, man. I appreciate you for that, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jeremiah, man. Shout out to Jeremiah.
Moving on to free range, we had Jarrell Miller, my cousin. No, I'm just joking. We had Jarrell Miller. He had his hair knocked off mid-fight. And, I know it's going viral. And he had a toupee. He had it glued on. But it's like, bro, like, what was you thinking? Like, I'm not even talking about, like, your hair falling off. Like, you should just went in there bald. Like, you about to get hit in the head.
Yeah.
Well, you about to, it ain't no way you're going to go all 12 rounds, all 8 rounds, or whatever it was. And you're not about to get hit in the head several times where that glue on that toupee gonna come off.
I wonder what the barber was telling him, like, nah, this gonna be good, bro. I'm telling you, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. This the good one, bro. Trust me, it ain't gonna come off.
Bro, he got bad people in his corner, man. He got bad people in his corner, man. Like, I know he won the fight. And he wasn't even a favorite to win the fight. I think
which is dope. That's dope.
Eba, the other guy was a favorite to win the fight. Like, well, hey, you got to check them people in your corner, man. Like, because they let you walk out there, man. They let you walk out there with that skunk on top of your head, man. Bro, you come on, man. Like, you about to get your head. You about to get your hair knocked off, bro. You knew it, man.
Yeah. I wonder, did he practice with it? Like, did something? I don't know. Like, something he had to do something before that to think that was a good idea, bro.
Man, for him to even go out there and have that type, bro, I wouldn't even. I'm trying to fight, and I feel the glue on top of my head. That's taken away from me being the best fighter that I can be. Like, I feel this glue on my head, bro. I know I feel it, bro. Like, your mind is somewhere else other than defeating this guy across from you, bro. Like,
just that moment of thinking about your hair, like it just
like what? And then when he started getting his cap peeled, it started to flop up. Like, I know you feel the wind. Like, all of that could have just derailed his whole mentality from the fight, bro. Like, shout out to him, bro, for having the mental toughness to push through that. Like, and he a heavyweight too. Like, they ain't in there just they throwing real blows. Yeah, and he was able to come through and win that fight, bro. Like, that's dope, man. But crazy, I've never seen nothing like that in my life, man. Jarrell Miller, shout out to him, bro.
Real quick, while we on boxing, because I know we're in a group chat talking about this, but the Shakur Stevenson win.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. Shakur Stevenson defeats Teofimo Lopez Jr. I thought it was a great fight. I thought Shakur you could tell he has been in the gym with Bud Crawford. Yeah. This is that fight that he was in the middle of the ring. He's always been a defensive guy, but you can tell Bud Crawford and his new trainers. You could tell that he had a different mindset going into this fight.
Keep him up, man.
And I thought he did a great job. Vaughn, going into the fight, who did you have winning?
Man, my mind and my soul, it definitely told me that Shakur was gonna win the fight, but I just like going for the underdog, man. I thought Teofimo. I was like, man, come on, Teofimo, but I just knew in my mind and my soul, Shakur, and then just the matchup, Shakur is a defensive fighter, probably the best defensive fighter that we've had since Floyd Mayweather, and then you got Teofimo, who's an offensive fighter, and he's not elite in that area either, though. But he going against. For him to be able to win, it's going to be some type of offensive element. And through that first round, and I was showing him throw, and I saw how Shakur had him posted, and he had his front foot, and he was so quick, and his counters was just so. I was like, oh yeah, it's over with, bro. You can see it, he started getting crazy. Teofimo started getting crazy and stuff. I was like, oh yeah. When I saw him start doing that, it was just kind of nah, this is over, man. Shakur is just he's so dialed. He's so skilled. Only 28 years old. I know people have been talking about him for a long time. It was a quiet fight. Yeah. That's exactly how he wanted it. Just how Mayweather used to win all his fights. Yeah. That's it, bro. I don't know who you have to fight Shakur. I don't know, because he's not an offensive fighter. I don't know who do you match him up with to create another super fight. I don't know where they go from there.
Shit, we gotta find a way to get Tank back in there, but seemed like he got a lot going on too. So I don't know.
I don't even think Tank, you get Tank and Shakur in there, that'll probably be the only one. But that fight, what they just gonna be sitting there counter punching the whole day?
Tank gonna get in there. Tank gonna get
in there, but he defensive too now. His counter's crazy too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And you wasn't feeling his interest. Then you said you're Jabberwockies or something like that. You're like, oh, this nigga.
Oh, man. That was crazy, bro. Then they made him wait. He was in there waiting, and Buddy came out with the Jabberwockies. Yeah, and he had the corner jab. I said, hey, man.
What other? Hey, you playing too much, man.
You playing too much, man. You already know, man.
That's what I'm like, oh, no, it's over.
As we move on from, the boxing, part of this, the Phoenix Open is this weekend. It's always on the same weekend as the Super Bowl. It's by far the rowdiest tournament on the PGA Tour, with Travis Kelce, Emmitt Smith, Larry Fitzgerald, Buda Baker, Trey McBride, Zaven Collins. They're all playing in the Pro-Am. I have never been to the Phoenix Open. I was in Phoenix when they had the Super Bowl and they had the Phoenix Open at the same time, but I've never been to the Phoenix Open, and I definitely would enjoy that type of environment. I always thought that golf, if you add that type of element to it, like just think if you had that at every single event on the PGA Tour. And then I take it an even step further. Like I want like the players to like start talking trash to each other. Like say if somebody missed the putt, they just walk off like gentlemen now. Like just say if somebody missed the putt and they say, yes, yes. Like, and they start like doing stuff like that, bro. I think it'd be a whole lot more interesting. I think the rivalries that would create, man, like take viewership way, way up. It's already up. PGA is already like one of the most popular sports in the world. But I think once you add that element of like that element of competition and you make it personal like that, and then they'll telling where to go. Years ago, you know, you had Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, but it really wasn't like, it was just like a dislike off camera. Like, but if you was like in the, like guys talking in their backswing and like doing stuff, bro, that would be so dope for me to be able to watch. That's what I want to see.
Oh, so Vaughn, you would rather the golf players be mic'd up so they can show more personality. You can hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I think that'd be amazing to be able to like, you know, show guys what they really saying, what they really talking about, like just the reactions, like more reactions. And I think it'll take the PGA from being incredible to like stellar, like the best of the best guy. Like it won't have the same amount of views as football, but it'll be up there for sure if they start doing stuff like that.
All right, Vaughn, real quick, what profession is the hardest to win a championship in?
For me, when I think about it, like it has to be an individual sport for sure. When you got team sports, there's just so many elements that can help out to win that championship. Tennis is definitely tough. I think, bro, I think I had to stay in the lane with the PGA guys. Like I think golf is one of the hardest things to win a championship in. You got 4 days. You got to be great for 4 days to have a chance to win it. Football is just 1 day.
Yeah.
The basketball, like obviously it's a team sport. You got to be able to do it, but golf is just you. And if you go back to the PGA Championship, I think last year with Spawn, you know, he had hit the ball up there. It was a great shot. It hit the flag, bounced off of the flag, and rolled back down. And he ended up having a double bogey on that. There's so many hidden factors that go into it. It goes beyond luck. So for me, I think it's probably winning a PGA Championship is probably harder than winning a Super Bowl. 100%.
Oh my God. Well, obviously you know more, but I don't know a Super Bowl, bro. That 1 day, I don't know. Maybe basketball is pretty tough too, though. I mean, to beat a guy 4 times, ain't no luck in that. The better team usually wins. But Super Bowl, you kind of football, you get better. You better than him on 1 day, maybe. You might lose every other game. That 1 day, you just better than him. You know. So.
Yeah, I'm going Super Bowl, guys. Like it's
for sure.
It's any given Sunday, and in our lifetime we've seen that 2007 Patriots team. We never thought was going to lose any Sunday. Like we saw a 7-9 Giants team go down, beat them. So I that any given Sunday Super Bowl team.
That do or die, like it definitely creates legends, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I got 2 of them, so I definitely that I can agree with you on that one too.
Bro, seriously.
Moving on, Mariano Barbasit, the Spanish scientist, he successfully cured pancreatic cancer in rats. His research could be a major step toward a human treatment. That's great. Like, and I to be honest, I think people have been curing cancer for at least about the last 10 years now. They've been curing it in some form of fashion or finding out stuff. You know, they might already had a cure, bro. Like, they just kind of like keeping it on tucks, like a little bit. Because would you rather like people live to like they 300 years old using up all the resources, or would you rather like natural selection just kind of trim off a little bit? I don't know. I don't want to like get too deep in it, but shout out to Spanish scientist Mariano Barbasit, man. Dog, that is great work for sure.
Real quick, now it's time for Miller's Mailbag. Vaughn, do you want to ask this next one? This next one seems a little personal to you.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do it. From Jamie Hager. She says, "Hey, Von, as a lifelong Denver Broncos fan and a huge Von Miller fan, I'm curious if you can recall the moment when you realized you were a Denver Bronco for life. When did it click for you? And second question would be, what restaurant do you miss the most in Colorado?" She also follows up and says, "We miss you more than you miss us. Promise." That's all I love and respect, man. I start out with the first part of that question. It had to be in 2017 when VJ got there, Vance Joseph, the head coach, got there. I was the face of the franchise. I was the guy. Coach Kubiak had just left. I had stayed there year round. I had started like going fly fishing. My house was there, like I said before. We had been doing so many different things in the community. And I think it was at that point where I just bought into it. Like, hey, I don't ever want to go anywhere. I don't ever want to leave. This is who I am. I'm a country boy at heart. I'm from DeSoto, Texas. Went to school at Texas A&M. Denver is right along with that Western like feel, what I'm accustomed to and what I come from. And yeah, it was probably during that year where I was like, yeah, I'm a Denver Bronco for life. I'm a Coloradan for life. This is me. The mountains, Rocky Mountains, even past that, Vail, Aspen, everything about Colorado, the altitude, like this is me. I had my foundation there, Von's Vision. We had been there for, I want to say 7 years at the time. It was like, this is who I am. I had built my guest house there. Had this huge piece of property, 4 acres, 17,000 square foot home there. I was like, yeah, this is me. This is where I want to be. And that's where it happened. And the restaurant that I like the most there would have to be Los Dos Patriots. It's a Mexican restaurant there. And when it comes to Mexican food or anything in that ecosystem, they got it all. From menudo to any Mexican tamales, any Mexican dish that you can think of. El Pastor, like anything that you can think of, they got it. Like, and it's all good. They got the best margaritas, great customer service. They love me there. I love those guys too. The salsa, the nachos, like the queso, everything about that place, the environment. That's the restaurant that I miss the most in Colorado. Would be Los Dos Patriots for sure.
And Theo, speaking about your time in Denver with Vaughn, we met in Miami one time, but we got to know each other more in Denver. I want us to speak about your time in Denver as well.
Man, Denver was just as special for me because actually Vaughn, Vaughn kind of like, fake saved my life. Not fake saved my life, but he did something for me. So I kind of always indebted to that boy, you know what I'm saying? So when after my situation, I came straight to Denver. And it was just beautiful, bro. It was just beautiful, dog. Like from being out there on the field, riding to the game with him. Just like I don't really talk too much to him when we on the way to the game though, because I don't want to, throw him off anything though. But I just missed it. And the basement missed that a lot.
Yeah.
It was so like for it to be Denver, Colorado. I felt like the basement was just like so star studded, like big Tigger's house. Like it just you just never know who's gonna walk in there. You just never know. Like it was just that shit was. Denver was a time, man, for sure.
The one thing I want to do, I want to give a shout out and say the thing I love the most about Denver. I can't give, obviously the question wasn't, to me, but his name is Connor McGay. I want to shout him out. He is the Denver Broncos stadium announcer. And he gave me the chills. Vaughn was last to come out and he did the announcement, from Dallas, the number of it, and Vaughn did the pound. He's infamous for doing the pound when he wore 58, and I heard Vaughn got a sack, and I heard Vaughn, and he hyped it up, man. And I want to give him a shout out because I know a lot of announcers don't get that many shout outs in the stadium, but he gave me chills. I was like, yo, Vaughn can't leave this place, bro. You saw the fans. So
definitely miss those days, and I'm still a taking man. I'm still with the Washington Commanders.
yeah, for sure. Shout out to the Commanders.
He very funny though.
Hey, I might be able to go spin the block on my baby again. So that'll be dope, man. But I'm still taking right now. I'm still taking, man.
Hey, big head.
That's it for episode 13. It's an honor and a privilege. TJ, man, great job today, man. Theo, great job as usual, man. I appreciate you guys taking time out of y'all life to spend time with my life. Free Range Podcast, episode 13. Make sure y'all count y'all chickens. Y'all stay up on y'all eggs, man. It is an honor and a privilege to have this platform, and y'all check in with us each and every week. Next week, y'all check in too, man, and we'll give our recap on the Super Bowl. It's going to be a good one. So make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all send us y'all dishes when it comes to the greener pastures, wings. I want to see what y'all make. I make baked chicken. That's my specialty right now. I want to see what y'all do. I want to see what y'all good at. I want to see how y'all dress up the greener pasture wings. And, I see y'all next week. It's an honor and a privilege. I appreciate you guys. If you're rocking with this show, be sure to follow us at your favorite podcast app. And while you're there, go ahead and drop a 5-star rating and leave a review. I want to hear what you think. Free Range with Von Miller is presented by Odyssey. Our executive producers from Odyssey are Leah Reese-Dennis, Danny Freisinger, and Greg Hoseman. The show is produced by James Jackson and Evan O'Brien. Video production and creative design by Kurt Courtney and Lauren Vieira. Special thanks to Ben Swanson and Theo Smith and the team at Odyssey. Maura Corin, Melissa Wester, Isabella Apple, Hillary Shuff, Eric Donnelly, Kate Rose, Colin Gaynor, Sean Cherry, and Jake Gallen. We appreciate you guys.